Thank you so much, Kids Clinic, for having me this IG takeover, and I'm so glad that I can be here to help and encourage other parents. Okay, so first of all, for those who don't know, I'm Jacinth and I'm a stay-at-home mom. I run parenting workshops now, and I do an online course, and I share positive parenting tips and play tips on my Instagram account, Ourlittleplaynest. It's been a week since circuit breaker, and I know it feels like it's been a month, right? Yeah, and if you are exhausted, you're stressed, please know that you are not alone. I'm going to share with you 3 tips on how you can survive the rest of this circuit breaker period, or even more. Okay, fingers crossed. Let's hope that it just ends on 4th of May. Alright, so the first tip is to go on survival mode. Okay, do not attempt to thrive in whatever you want to do right now. So if you feel stressed about having to teach your kids, and you feel like it's impossible for you to, take the role of take up so many roles, don't. Okay, my advice to you is just survive. So if your kids cannot do home-based learning 1 day, 2 days, it's fine. Now, as a teacher, I'm telling you that 4 weeks of not learning stuff will not make a difference to his learning in the long run. Okay, so we want to look at the bigger picture. So you want to survive, you be a parent, and your job is to spend time with your kids if you can, read to them, play with them, and talk to them. Now, this 4 weeks is a great opportunity for you to really know your child well and to bond with him. I mean, how often do we have so much time with our kids at home, right? So I strongly encourage you, don't worry about the academics, do not worry about the ABC. If you are too tired of getting your kids to watch the screen, 1 song a day, one ballet dance a day, or music a day, if you find that this is too much, it's okay. There is no expectations for you, okay? And if you're home-based learning that you want to help your child with, do what you can, just recall what you learned in your school. But if you can't, it's okay, because the teachers are going to understand as well. They will not expect your child to come back with all the homework done, and even if it's not done, they will not be reprimanding you or the kids. So do not worry, just do your very best. Okay, so that's tip number 1, survival mode. However, if and only if you have the energy, you have some kind of time, then you can squeeze out some simple activities to occupy them, or to use that as a bonding session. Okay, so what you can do is to prepare simple activities like so I want to share with you like a few that I do with my kids, but they are really optional. So I want to highlight, emphasize again, if you cannot prepare these activities, you don't have the bandwidth to do it, don't do it. Just spend time with your kids, read a book, or get him to cook with you, do your laundry, vacuum the floor, or can do baking together, or just sit down and chit chat and play board games. These are good enough. They are going to learn so much from that. Okay, you don't have to prepare the activity. So if and only if you feel that you can do it, it doesn't stress you out, and you have an open mind that if your kids don't play, it's fine, yeah, then I say go ahead. Okay, so what I recommend you to do, you can read a book to them, okay, and after reading the book, you can do a follow activity. So in this case, this Very Hungry Caterpillar is one of the popular ones with the little children, and so what I did was to get the kids to basically paste dot stickers on lines that I drew, and that will help them with their visual tracking. It will help them with their reading too. So little play activities like that are also very beneficial. And if you feel that, oh, this is too easy for my preschooler or my primary school child, so what I did for my 6-year-old son was I add a key here. Okay, I know it's a bit mirror image, but basically I told him that 4 dots is 8 units. And from there, he learns his multiplication through fun, through play. Okay, not like with the assessment book and all. So this is one of the simple activity. The other simple activity is, again, you can make use of dot stickers. So my girl like ice cream. So I get her to, fill up the scoops of ice cream on the paper, and it really takes you like less than 10 seconds to draw these cones. And for my son, again, I want to make it a bit more difficult for him, so I included words that he needs to learn to spell, but he don't find that he is having a spelling test. He's just trying to paste the dots to form the cone, to form the ice cream. Okay. And next one, I did this on Sunday night with many parents on my IG live. So every Sunday night, I go live and I teach you how to do easy, super easy prep, and I prep it with you. So by the end of that 15 minutes, you have the activities for the whole week, and this is one of it. So basically, you get strips of paper and you paste it and you form a little tunnel. I use washi tape and I ran out of it, so I use dot stickers. So what happens is you get a pom-pom or any small ball, and you can get your kids to complete the maze and to roll, and then to get from the start to the end. Okay, so this is one for the more the older kids. Okay, it helps them with their coordination and problem solving. And finally, this is one of my favorite resources. It's just a painter's tape, or you have a masking tape. You can use it to tape lines on the floor, tape squares, tape shapes, tape and create obstacle course for your kids. And I'm a big fan of using these painter tapes. I have done it with my kids on many days, and I also show it on my IG live every morning at 10:30 AM. So you can go on live 10:30 and you can see how my kids play, and in fact you can get your kids to just watch and then they can continue playing on their own. Okay, so these are some of the simple activities that I wanted to share with you. Now I want to answer this question. It says that the teachers are hunting us to submit their homework on time. Now, the teacher's job is to hunt you down. The teacher cannot just let it be. But you think about it on your own, okay? If your kids have done the homework, what is more important? That they learn and they understand. Now, that submission of homework, firstly, it can be done later. And secondly, if you don't submit, just reply an email to your teacher very kindly and say that you are study overwhelmed right now, you have 2 kids and there are so many work to submit, please give you a bit more time. The teacher will definitely say yes. And number 2 is to have a schedule or a routine. Now, the reason why I can survive as a stay-at-home mom for 5 days is because, for 5 years, not 5 days, for 5 years is because I have a routine and I schedule time for the kids to have their downtime while I have my own me time. And that me time is my tip number 3. Okay, we'll go into that later. But basically, when you have a routine, kids thrive because they like predictability. They don't want to know that one morning when they wake up, they have to do homework. The next morning, they can play. The following morning, they can watch TV. They'll be like puzzled. How is it that sometimes I can play, sometimes I can watch TV, sometimes I have to do my homework. So if you are not a fan of a fixed routine or fixed timetable, you just put up a broad schedule. So you plan by the hour. So you can have a morning slot, lunch, and then early afternoon, late afternoon, dinner, and night. Just this is already a very good schedule because your kids know that, okay, in the morning we're going to do something. We can either watch TV, we can do our homework, we can play. Yeah, so you put it in the individual slots so that your kids know what to expect. Because when they don't know what to expect, they are unsafe, number 1, and their emotions run wild. They don't know how to communicate with you about their needs and their big feelings. Now, let me give you an example. Right now, don't we all feel very unsafe when we don't know what is going to happen after 4th of May? Like, we don't know if the circuit breaker is going to continue, and then you worry about your job, you worry about your school, your kids, are they going to school, and you worry about the shops, are they going to be open, are you going for your haircut, are you going to put on your lashes? We're so uncertain. So with uncertainty, we don't feel good. And similarly for your kids, you know, when your kids don't know what's going to happen for the day, they don't know what to expect, they are not going to feel good either. And worse, they are little kids with developing brains. They need a lot of guidance and patience from you. Okay, so have a schedule or a routine, and in that routine, I highly recommend that you put in your me time, which is my 3rd tip right now. Schedule your me time when either the kids nap, or if the kids don't nap anymore, let them know, mommy needs to have my me time, mommy needs to have my downtime. Okay, this is a time when mommy wants to be alone and you cannot disturb me. You have to tell them in advance and let them repeat it back to you so they know what to expect. Okay, now of course when you have a me time, the kids are going to come and disturb you, but remind them gently, let them know, okay, this is my me time. I have to prepare the food, I have to wash the dishes, or I have to take a shower. So you got to let them know in advance, and that me time is really for you to maintain your sanity. It's been 1 week, right? But if you are already dying from this 1 week, think about it, you have 3 more weeks to go. Okay, so you don't want to do things that are not sustainable. You don't want to be the parent to constantly give activities to your kids. Every minute you have something for him to do. No, don't do that. It is not sustainable. It's just gonna drive you crazy because every day you want to do the same thing. And yeah, so my 3 tips I'm going to recap now. Be on survival mode. Don't need to be a perfect parent. Do what you can. Nobody's going to blame you for it. The teachers are going to be understanding, and your kids are going to love you for spending time with them rather than nagging at them. Now, we want to make full use of these 4 weeks. We don't want to look back and think, I spent 4 weeks nagging at my kids, but I want you to take action, and after 4 weeks you think, oh, I really enjoy these 4 weeks because I get to spend time with my kids and know them better, because they are our responsibility. This is the time perhaps for us to remind us to slow down and look at your kids in the eye. I mean, when was the last time you looked at your kid in the eye and listen to what they say? Or are you always on your phone, or reading the news, or are you always constantly checking your email or working? You got to set a time for each activity, right? So with your kids, why don't we try it today? You know, you look at your kids, look at them in the eye and relax and really enjoy them for who they are, be with you, okay? And that was my first tip, survival mode. Second tip was have a schedule and a routine. And the third tip is to make sure you have me time, okay? If not, it's not sustainable. If this circuit breaker is going to go on for another 2 weeks, which somehow I have this weird feeling that you will just like be freaking out, like you have already survived 4 weeks, how are you going to do it again, okay? So yes, I'm going to answer your questions right now, okay? Let's see. Hui Ying said, how can I give my kids emotional security about being able to go back to school? They really miss school. Yeah, okay, so that feeling that they feel like the uncertainty, they don't know when they can go back to school. Now, this has got to do with how you communicate with your kids, okay? You let them know what's happening right now in the world. Why do we need to do this? Why do we need to, stay away from school? And acknowledge them, let them know that yes, I understand that you miss school. If they miss their friends, okay, if you are close to their friends, you can, I know some parents, they do Zoom with their classmates so that they get to see their friends. And if not, you can always speak to the teachers and get the teachers to do a little recording and let your kids know, okay, that he knows that teachers are still there, not that the teachers are going missing. And it also depends on how old your kids are. If they are younger, you can draw a calendar and you can mark across like a countdown to when they're going back to school. However, you put a question mark there because you let them know that we don't know if we are really going back to school on that day, but at least they see that, okay, the calendar, the day is passing by and they are one step closer to going to school. And then, like I mentioned, it's a lot on the communication, how you speak to your kids and how you assure them, okay? Kayla asks, how do you cope with letting your child watch YouTube or TV? It's hard to keep them off screen, right? Yeah, I think we all know that because of the home-based learning and the enrichment classes are all closed, so many of them turn to, get their kids to view a video online or to basically watch TV or YouTube so that you can entertain the kids while you just go to the toilet or even, cut your vegetables. So it is very difficult to get them off the screen. However, if you are very intentional about it, it can be done. So like for my kids, I don't give them excess screen time. The rules stay the same. They don't watch screens except on Sunday. And even though, yes, I need the time to do my own stuff, I have established a routine that they know what to do at different times. So there are many screen alternatives, okay? Like reading, playing a board game, using the masking tape, put a hopscotch on the floor and get them to jump. There are many alternatives and you don't have to entertain your kids all the time, okay? In fact, when kids are bored, they are more creative and they are going to, get to learn better actually when they think of games to entertain themselves. They come up with their own stories and their own pretend play. And all these are beneficial for your kids. So there is no need to have screen all the time if you stay by your rule. But if you do need, okay, again, set the rules very clearly, how long, how many times a week, and what are the consequences if they don't switch it off, okay? If you find this useful, I do share more tips inside my school closure essential guide. It's free for download. Just go to my website, ourlittleplaynest.com/school closure, and you get to download it for free. Inside, I share tips on how you can maintain your sanity, and I shared how you can schedule, how you can have a routine, as well as very simple activities. There are about 70 plus of them. Again, you don't have to do them all, only if you have the bandwidth to do it. If you don't have it, please ignore the document. You don't even go and download the document if you're feeling very stressed, okay? Because my goal is not to stress you out, but to provide some kind of support for you. Right. So yes, that's all I have. If this has been helpful for you, can you give me a thumbs up and let me know? I hope that you have picked up a tip or two. Yeah. So it's a week. It's been a week, and there are 3 more weeks. So please know that you're not alone. If you do feel like stressed and you're going to burn out, speak to someone, talk to someone, so that you can last, longer. Take care, and now I'm back to look at my kids. They are having lunch right now. Okay, bye bye.